Hello everyone. Today we are going to understand the last head of income, that is income from other sources. In this video lecture, we will understand what are the various types of income which are expressly covers under the head of income from other sources and how is chargeable to tax. We will also discuss some provisions of income tax with relation to income from other sources and their taxability. Okay. So, dear students, first of all, it is necessary for all of us to understand the basis of charge under income from other sources as per section 56 subsection 1 of Income Tax Act 1961. An income shall be chargeable to income tax under the head of income from other sources if the income or such income is not exempt under the provision of Income Tax Act 1961. Means whatever income assessee is earning, if is chargeable to tax, that comes under the head of income from other sources if it not covers under other four heads of income. Another basic condition, that is the income or such income which comes under the head of income from other sources is not chargeable to tax under any first four heads, that is income from salary, income from house property, profit and gains of business and profession, and capital gain. So whatever income which is not covered under these four heads of income are covered under the head of income from other sources and chargeable to tax. Third provision, that is the income from other sources is therefore a residuary head of income. So these are the provisions with relation to basis of charge of income under the head of other sources. Now we have to understand the various types of income generally taxable under section 56 subsection 1 of Income Tax Act 1961, specifically in the case of income from other sources. So first income which is derived by the assessee from subletting of house property by a tenant is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Income from house property is chargeable to tax under the head of income from house property, but if such a property is subletted to the person by a tenant, that is called as income from subletting of house property and is chargeable to tax in this head, that is income from other sources. Okay. Next income, whatever types of interest earned by the assessee on bank deposits is also chargeable to tax in the case of income from other sources. Whatever interest received by the person on loan given to the person is also chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources because it does not covers under first four heads of income. Rent from a vacant piece of plot or land is also chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Then whatever agricultural income earned by the assessee during the previous year from land situated outside the India is also chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Then income received by the assessee by way of insurance commission during the previous year is also chargeable to tax. Then income from undisclosed sources, because such income is not covered in first four heads, that's why it is chargeable to tax in this head, that is income from other sources. Then whatever interest received on delayed refund of income tax, means interest received on the amount of income tax refund received by the assessee, but if it is a delayed amount, then such amount is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. And whatever remuneration received by a person from a person other than his employer, for example, examination fees received by a teacher from the institute or any other institution, or examination remuneration received by a professor from the university, is not chargeable to tax under the head of income from salary, but it is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Okay. Royalty income also chargeable to tax. Then director's sitting fee for attending a board meeting or director fees also chargeable to tax in the case of income from other sources. So these are the various types of incomes which are generally taxable as per section 56 subsection 1 of Income Tax Act 1961 under income from other sources. Okay. Now we have to understand specific incomes which are chargeable under the head of income from other sources as per section 56 subsection 2. So the question is arise, what are the specific types of income which are expressly covered under this head? So dear students, as per the section 56 subsection 2, there are many types of incomes which are chargeable under the head of income from other sources, like dividend, except dividend received from domestic company, even if shares are held as a stock in trade. So in the case of dividend received from domestic company is exempt from tax, but as per section 56 2, dividend except dividend received from domestic company means the dividend from other companies other than domestic companies is chargeable to tax under income from other sources. Okay. Second, any income is received by the assessee during the previous year by way of winning from lotteries, that is lottery income, crossword puzzles, races including horse races, card games, and other games of any short term, or gambling or betting of any form of nature whatsoever, even if derived as a regular business activities, are also live chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Means whatever type of income received by the assessee during the previous year is chargeable to tax if assessee exceeds certain limit. But these are the incomes like lottery income, crossword puzzles, income from various types of races like horse races, card games, other games, betting is also chargeable to tax at a flat rate of 30%. Okay. Next type of income is also chargeable to tax, that is the income or sum of amount received by the assessee from his employees as a contribution to any PF superannuation of fund or any other fund for the welfare of the employees. provided it is not taxable under the head of profit, and gains of business profession are also chargeable to tax under this head, that is income from other sources. Got it? Now, next income is income from interest on securities. Means whatever investment made by the assessee in securities for investment purpose, and if he is receiving any types of amount of income by way of interest, is also chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. But which interest? Those it is not taxable under the head of profit and gains of business and profession. Okay. Then income from subletting out of machinery or letting out of machinery, plant, furniture. Those are not taxable under the head of profit and gains of business and profession, are liable to tax, chargeable to tax under other head. Means those income which are not covered, those income which are by nature of income from letting out of machinery, plant and furniture, but are not covered in the case of profits and gains of business and profession, are chargeable to tax in this head. Okay. Next, income from letting out of machinery, plant or furniture along with building. And letting of building is inseparable from letting of machinery, plant and machinery. And if it is not chargeable to tax under the head of profits and gains of business and profession, then it is chargeable to tax in this head, that is income from other sources. Okay. Another income that is received, or any amount of sum received under a key man insurance policy, including the sum allocated by way of bonus on such policy. And if it is not taxable under the head of profits and gains of business and profession or salaries, then it is chargeable to tax in this head, that is income from other sources. Okay. Any receipts of any sum of money without consideration, or any receipts of money of any immovable property without consideration, or receipts of any movable property, is also chargeable to tax under this head, that is income from other sources. Income from by way of receipts of shares of a company without consideration or for an adequate consideration, if the recipient is a firm or company. Means in the case of in the hands of firm or a company, if they received such type of receipts of shares of a company without consideration, then it is chargeable to tax under this head, but in the hands of firm and company. Okay. Now we have to understand some other incomes like winning from lotteries, crossword puzzles, races including horse races, card games, gambling or budgeting, as per the section 56 subsection 2 subsection 4 of Income Tax Act 1961. We have to understand the provisions about these incomes. So, what type of specific incomes? There are winning from lotteries called as lottery income, income by way of winning crossword puzzles, races including horse races, card games, gambling and betting. Okay, so such type of incomes are to be treated as specific income chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. So in this case, no expenditure is allowed to be deducted out of these incomes, and the tax is deducted at a source, as earlier I said, that at a prescribed rate out of the following incomes. So for winning from lottery income, if the price of winning from lottery income exceeds rupees 10,000, in case of crossword puzzles, if the price exceeds rupees 10,000, and in the case of horse races or include other races, if price exceeds rupees 5,000, and in the case of card game, if price received rupees 10,000, in such case 30% income tax plus 4% educational sage is applicable under the head of income from other sources. Okay. Next one is the income to include transfer of money and or property as per section 56 to subsection 7. So now we have to understand another provisions of income from other sources. So dear students, the provision is that if an individual or HUF, that is Hindu undivided family, receives on or after first day of October 2009 in any previous year from any person a sum money or property which falls under any of the four categories mentioned below, it is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. So these are the income. So this is the chart of showing the income received in these four categories. So first of all, we have to understand the, for example, gift received by the person, either gift may be received either in cash or kind, is chargeable to tax subject to certain conditions. So we have to understand this chart in relation to the any sum of money received by way of nature of gift, and if the aggregate value of such receipts or money exceeds rupees 50,000, so in that case whole amount of such aggregate value is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Then any amount received or any immovable property without consideration received by the person, and if his stamp duty exceeds rupees 50,000, then whatever amount of stamp duty paid is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. Then income or gift by way of any movable property without consideration, if its fair market value exceeds rupees 50,000, in that case whatever fair market value is there is chargeable to tax under this head. And last provision, any movable property for consideration which is less than fair market value, if fair market value exceeds rupees 50,000, so whatever amount or whole of such aggregate fair market value minus consideration is chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. So these are the provisions. Okay. Now it is necessary for all of us to understand the meaning and nature of property and relatives for the purpose of determining income chargeable to tax under the head of income from other sources. So dear students, property means the following capital assets of assessee. Normally, immovable property being land or building or both, any shares and as a security, jewelry, drawings, paintings, any work of art, bullion, including with effect from 1st June 2010. So these are the various types of properties we are going to consider while determining taxable income under the head of income from other sources. And relative means spouse of the individual, brothers or sister of the individual, brother or sister of spouse of the individual, brother or sister of either of parents of the individual, or any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual, spouse of the person referred to in clause second and fourth. So these are the persons expressly included in the definition of relative. So while determining the income from property immovable, in that case we have to consider these persons as a relative for the purpose of, and that is must for the purpose of determination of chargeability of income under the head of income from other sources. Okay. Now we have to understand various types of deductions of expenses from dividend income and interest on securities as per section 57. So there are various expenses which can be claimed as deductions from the dividend received from domestic companies and interest on securities. So, what are the deductions? So, any reasonable sum paid by way of commission or remuneration to a banker or any other person for the purpose of realizing the dividend interest is allowable as a deduction under section 57 in the under the head of income from other sources. Okay. Then any interest on money borrowed for purchasing the shares and securities is also treated as expenditure and allowed as a deduction under the head of income from other sources. Okay. Then any other expenditure not being expenditure of capital nature expended wholly and exclusively for the purpose of earning dividend interest is also allowable as a deduction under section 57 in the case of income from other sources. Okay. Then another type of deductions which assessee is getting, which is called as deduction of expenses from income from letting out of machinery, plant, or furniture as per section 57 of Income Tax Act 1961. So, what are the various types of deductions? So, whatever types of expenditure incurred on repairs of the building, insurance premium on of the building, repairs of machinery, plant, or furniture, insurance of machinery, insurance of plant or furniture, any other expenditure not being expenditure of capital nature expended wholly or exclusively for the purpose of earning such income. So these are the various types of expenses which are incurred by the assessee with relation to income earning income from letting out of machinery, plant and furniture. If it is made by the assessee during the previous year, then it is chargeable to tax. Sorry, it is allowable as a deduction under section 57 for the purpose of determination of taxable income under the head of income from other sources. Okay. So dear students, these are the various types of expenses which is allowed as a deduction under section 57 for the purpose of determination of taxability in the case of income from other sources. Okay, thank you.